Happy Camper Radio, episode 71. Come on, let's go camping. I would like to say it's good to be back, but Daniel, you know better than anyone. When you come back from vacation, you need a vacation from your vacation.
Exactly, because your house is a wreck.
And the house is a wreck. You've got to go back to work. Your life goes right back into shambles again. But that's just the way it happens. Hey, I've got to admit, I had a wonderful time when I was away. Now, typically, my vacations are like 3 or 4 days long, and that's it. That's all I need. You, on the other hand, if it's a week or more, then you are perfectly satisfied with that. Okay.
Exactly.
But you know, I was away for a few days, and I know we talked about this, and I posted it on Facebook and a few other locations too.
Yeah, I saw that. I was. It looked like I was in the window someplace.
Yeah, how did you manage to get up there? Is it the magic of Daniel?
It's the magic of quilts. They're a magical thing.
Hey, you do it upright. I've got to admit that. So anyway, Daniel, I've got to admit I am happy to be back. I really was hoping that you and I would be able to podcast while I was out of town, but you know it didn't work out that way.
Yeah,
it didn't, and I understand too. Especially if you are out visiting the sites and surroundings and you come back at the end of the day, you are wiped out.
Exactly.
You are wore out.
Exactly.
But that happens.
It does.
But I had a great time, and we're going to be talking about my ventures today on the show.
All right.
Because I am pumped up and excited, and I'm hoping I get enough people to get pumped up and excited as well that they can visit, if not the location I was at, but maybe somewhere close by where they have similar activities.
Yeah. I mean, different parts of the country have different things. I mean, it's like when I was out in Utah, it's totally different from us, but it's beautiful. We have beautiful mountains. They have beautiful mountains, but they're just different. And, you know, different areas have different things. And, you know, like down in Florida or out in California, you got the beach and everything. And then the Midwest, you got the plains. It's just, you know.
And speaking of your Utah trip, I am still venturing through the photographs that you posted online.
Oh yeah,
they are absolutely wonderful.
I know.
I don't think I could take the heat like you did.
It's a dry heat, so it's not so bad.
But hey, you only do it once.
I'll only do it once.
Okay. Well, hey, anyway, welcome to the Happy Camper Radio Show. I'm Skip. I am the Happy Camper. Daniel is in the studio with me today. And we, again, have a wonderful show lined up for you. It is episode 71. We are just climbing forward. And before long, Daniel, we'll have 100 episodes under our belt.
100. We got to do something special for that.
But don't forget, you can catch us online anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, and add us to your circles on Google+. Of course, you can access any one of our social media sites very simply by clicking on our homepage and finding them right there. Just log on and hit the button, and you'll be good to go. Always got a lot of great things online. If you're not listening to the show, we've got some things posted not only on our website, but also on Facebook and Twitter and Google+. So definitely check us out anytime you can. Daniel, let us get this campfire lit.
Oh, finally.
Yes, I am.
Cold.
You know, you're going to be saying that literally here in just a couple months.
I know.
Because this summer is just zooming right by.
Yeah, but it's not so bad. Maybe a little bit into November it gets pretty cold.
That's fine by me.
You know,
because then we're going to be in the burning season in our community.
That's
and
unlike
you, I have an elaborate burn pit back in the corner of my property.
You?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very well dug out, very shaded. And that's where I've
seen
have an opportunity to burn a lot of the fallen debris on my property.
Yeah. We had a lot of it the other day. Boy, we had some storms that were crazy.
True, and that's exactly when they come down. And me, I just walk around the yard and I grab all that fallen debris and the limbs and the leaves, and I just push them all back there. And come early October, when we are allowed to start burning in our county, I take advantage of the opportunity. Just sit back here, pull out a camping chair, and just relax and It's the next best thing to being out in the wilderness.
There you go.
Okay. But anyway, Daniel, before we get underway, as is a tradition here on the Happy Camper Radio Show, we've got some shout-outs. And today we want to say hello to Camille Rowe, Campaglam, Castle Coast Campers, VWCamper.net and Forum, and HC New Entrepreneur. They're following us on Twitter. We also want to say hello to Lenny B., Greg Long, and the folks at AV Studio Pro who added us to circles this past week on Google+. Thank you also very much for joining us and being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Daniel, for those of our listeners who haven't been keeping up with us on social media, yes, I did go out of town this past week. I don't get to venture often away as much as I want to.
No.
But this time I decided I was going to go to an area that I have never been to before, but I've heard so much about. And that, Daniel, is Blue Ridge, Georgia. Daniel, this was a place, if you really want to get away from the traffic, the congestion, the stresses of everyday city life, this place is it.
Okay.
Blue Ridge is located about 90 miles north of Georgia, and I want to point this out to everyone, too.
Atlanta.
That you can, no, you can go to our website, happycamperradio.com, and click on the link section. It's located under the Skip's Corner tab at the top of the page, and you can find all the information you need about Blue Ridge, as well as the highlight of my vacation, which was the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway, and I'll be talking about that a little later on in the show. But Daniel, this is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
And you've
roll.
probably already forgotten about it. But Daniel, I did not sleep in a tent this time.
What?
Yes.
Interesting.
No. And I'll tell you why. Even though they've got some campgrounds up there, the problem was most of the activity that I took in was in town.
Oh, boy.
And the campgrounds were a little bit out there in the distance.
You're going to get it from our hardcores.
Well, Daniel.
They pick on me. Now they're going to pick on you.
It'll give you some relief for a moment. That's okay.
Exactly.
But, hey, this is the thing. If I would have taken my camping gear up there, and I tell you, this was an excellent opportunity to go camping, too, because the weather was perfect the entire time I was there. Not a drop of rain from the sky. How often these days can you go away and enjoy that?
It seems like it follows you sometimes.
It followed me home because we have been getting wet ever since I've been back in town.
Yeah, really.
I'm hoping for some nice weather this weekend because I've got a few things I want to do. But while I was there in Blue Ridge, the weather was fabulous.
Okay, cool.
So I arrived in town on August the 3rd, which was last Sunday. And again, I stayed at a place called the Blue Ridge Lodge. Daniel, normally I do not hand out free endorsements.
Okay.
But when you go to a place where the service is not only superior, but it's over the top.
Right.
And you are getting more than what you paid for. The hospitality, the everything, the accommodations, the whole 9 yards. It couldn't be more perfect.
So was this a cabin or a hotel? What was this?
Well, Dan, you could consider it a hotel, but when you walk in the lodge, Dan, you've got this rustic atmosphere ahead of you. And I knew I was home, at least for a few days. So that's where I stayed, and everything there, Daniel, was absolutely perfect, from the free breakfast they serve you in the morning.
Oh, wow.
But there's some other locations up there, too, and I've got to point them out. You've got some of these bed and breakfast places.
Oh, those are nice. I've never done that before.
Yeah, either have I, but I've heard so much about them. You could rent cabins.
Ooh,
and they're very, very affordable, even if you're just renting them for a weekend.
As long as they have a hot tub.
And some of them do.
Yeah, there you go.
And some of them are located by a running stream.
Oh, that's nice. I love that ambiance. There's two ambiances I love: rivers and fires. It's just puts me at ease.
I stayed in a cabin one time, Daniel. And it was in the summer, and it was cool at nighttime to the point where you could open the window.
Oh, nice.
And when you open that window and you fall asleep and you hear that stream running behind you, they call it the babbling brook.
Yeah.
Wow. You can't beat it. You go to sleep and you will get your minimum 8 hours in without question. I don't care what you've got going on in your life. But there are a lot of great accommodations up there in Blue Ridge. And again, like I said, it's about 90 miles north of the Atlanta area. And I also want to point out, too, that I've added some links there to our homepage where you can find out all about Blue Ridge as well as the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway. So, you know, and I mentioned that once already. I mentioned it again. Probably mentioned it a third time before the end of the program.
Charm, so.
There you go. But, Daniel, in Blue Ridge, there is plenty to do up there. And you can check online and find all this information out. They've got hiking, horseback riding, nature trails. And if you're like me who just kind of wanted to walk around and take in all the sights and the sounds and everything of a small town environment, they've got a lot of shops. They've got some restaurants, plenty of places to eat. If you're bringing a small family with you, you know how kids are. They love that fast food. There are plenty of those eateries there, too. But I really wanted the small town feel. I wanted to get around some people who were local. And one of the nice things about local folks, Daniel, is they are always warm and welcoming.
Okay, cool.
And there were some tourists in town, too, and I got to meet a lot of great people.
Well, here's the thing I wanted to say. When I was a kid, I stayed in my parents would always go up to a place that was about 20, 25 miles away from there. It was called Ellijay.
Yes, and I passed, Daniel, I passed through there on the way up. Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's blowing up. Ellijay is like the capital of the North Georgia mountains. It's but up there you can also go tubing. I'm sure you could probably do that in Blue Ridge too. We did that once as a family.
In fact, Daniel, there are a couple of campgrounds up there that have tubing facilities almost like right next door.
Really? Cool.
So if you're going to go camping and you want to go tubing, you can do it all very conveniently. And I've got to say this, I did see a lot of people on the Toccoa River.
Oh, okay.
With the weather being as nice as it was, people were just floating down the river.
That's very relaxing.
And they were doing just that.
Oh, I love it.
In fact, I was thinking if I'm going to go tubing, I probably will want to take a camera with me, but I'm going to have to have one of them waterproof type cameras.
Yeah.
Knowing me, it's going to get wet, and my camera's going to get ruined. And Daniel, you know some of the pictures that I post online.
Oh, yeah.
They're very good, and that's because I have a very good camera.
Yeah, you do.
So I definitely want to take some photographs, but at the same time, I want to protect my equipment, just like the equipment that I have here in the studio.
Right.
But I was looking at some of the campgrounds up there, and there is a couple, Daniel. Next time I go up, I probably will take my gear with me. Mm-hmm. And I definitely want to invite you and any one of our listeners who happen to be passing through Georgia or happen to be living somewhere,
that'd be
maybe within driving distance. If you'd like to join us, I'll definitely let everyone know when my next trip up there is.
Yeah.
A lot of times I like to venture out like yourself. I don't like to visit the same place, a second time around. But when you go to a place like Blue Ridge, and you've seen all you want to see, and you say to yourself as you're driving away, "Hey, I will be back." Yes, most definitely, you will be coming back. And, of course, there's one big reason I do want to revisit Blue Ridge again, and that's because the whole purpose of me going on that vacation was to ride the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of property for sale up there. I know they sell a lot of cabins and a lot of, mountain view cabins up there. I mean, I've always thought about maybe, whenever I retire, maybe like getting a house up there, one day and, just setting up camp and just living up there because it's just so peaceful and it's so slow and it's not hectic and you just take it so much easier.
That's precisely my plans, Daniel, and I will be retired long before you will.
Yeah,
and I will be retiring most likely in the North Georgia mountains for that very same reason that you just talked about here. And of course, I will be taking a lot more camping activities in than I have been in recent years because I'll have the time to do that. But Daniel, the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway was the whole highlight of my trip. And for those of you who haven't seen the pictures on Facebook or on our homepage at happycamperradio.com, I invite you to do that right now. You can check out not only the photographs that I took, but also I shot a video while traveling on the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway between Blue Ridge and McKaysville, Georgia. All backcountry, Daniel. I had an opportunity to ride along the river, which runs parallel to the train tracks, and this is where I saw a lot of people who were tubing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, and they were just having a great time. I met a lot of people aboard the train, and I rode one of those open air cars.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, and I booked it online in advance, and that's what's so neat about this here. You can go to their website if you know you're going to be traveling up that way, and you can actually make your reservation and pay for your ticket, which runs under $40 a person.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for the most part. And you can have your tickets ready for you to pick up right there when you get ready to board the train. Everything is done electronically, and it makes life so convenient these days, Daniel.
I know.
Not at the campsite, but any other time.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and I'm curious to find out too what the internet connections are up there at the campgrounds, because that would have been a great place to actually.
They might have had Wi-Fi,
and they very well may have.
Yeah,
but we could podcast up there just like we did over at Stone Mountain.
Yeah,
but hey, the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway. The neat thing about this, it runs all year long, with the exception of rides in January and February. They've got a full calendar otherwise, and you can check it out online. I'm actually looking at a brochure right here in front of me. Daniel, they have not only just your routine rides between McKaysville, Georgia, and Blue Ridge, but certain times of the year they have some special programs like Santa's Express, the night train to Santa's Pavilion. The kids would love this. They have the Easter Egg Express. That's what it's called, Easter Egg Express. Where you get off at the at Farmer Brown's field and hunt for Easter eggs.
Oh yeah,
I remember doing that as a kid.
They look at me funny when I do it though. It's weird. I don't know why.
Please don't tell me you're out there stealing eggs from the kids.
It's Daniel. Not stealing. I'm hunting. I'm a hunter, but I can't hunt for eggs.
Hey, if you're into the 4th of July, they've got a fireworks train you can ride. They've got pumpkin picking in the fall. That's going to be another one, and the New Year's Eve ride. So there's a lot of great things you can do, and a lot of great times of year that you can travel the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway between Blue Ridge, Georgia, and McKaysville. And one of the things you'll see on the video, if you have an opportunity to see it, the neat thing about McKaysville, it also is a little small town that moves along at its own pace. Mm-hmm. When we got up there, we had a 2-hour layover, and it gave us enough time to shop the shops and sit down and have lunch. And if you really wanted to, you could cross the river where you will be in Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Ooh.
It's right there on the line.
Cool.
And the Toccoa River becomes the Oconee River. I hope I pronounced that right there at the bridge.
Huh.
So
what kind of shops did they have around there?
All kind of small shops, small town shops, Daniel. Mm-hmm. It's a tourist attraction.
Okay.
And a lot of people come from out of town and they arrive in McKaysville mainly by the Blue Ridge Express.
Oh, okay, cool.
They have a Christmas shop up there, a year-round Christmas shop.
Oh,
I didn't have an opportunity to stop in, but it was fantastic looking, Daniel. And they got they got year-round events, and you can find it on their website at www.brscenic.com. It'll take you right there to the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway website, or again, you can simply go to the link on our homepage at happycamperradio.com. It's a wonderful small town atmosphere, both in Blue Ridge, Copper Hill, Tennessee, and McKaysville. So if you have the opportunities to take in a small vacation, like I did, I recommend this place highly, folks. I don't care what time of the year you go, you're always going to find something to do. But if you want to go camping, this time of the year would be an excellent time to do that. I just hope that wherever you go, whether it be, in a small town in Georgia or maybe someplace out west, that the weather holds up for you just as well as it did for me this past week, even though I was gone just a few days.
Yeah.
So, and I want to check out some of the other campgrounds. I did have an opportunity to pick up some brochures and look over them. But yes, Daniel, most definitely the next time I go up there, if I do not take in some sort of a nature hike, it will be tubing down the Toccoa River.
Well, I know if people go up during October on their way up to Blue Ridge, if they wanted to, they could stop by Ellijay. They have a big They have a big apple festival in October.
That's what Ellijay's all noted for, is apples, the apple fields.
Yeah, they're the apple capital of Georgia, and we got every kind of apple there is.
I really wish I had an opportunity to stop by there, but I had to get home, and and Daniel, that's the most depressing part about a trip.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you got to come home and you got to start the whole process all over again. And for me, my next vacation is not going to be, where I'm going to have an opportunity to go out of town is not going to be till December, but that's okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because I've got some things I want to do in December. Hey, not to get off subject here, Daniel, our friend Gary on the Appalachian Trail is now in New York.
Oh, boy.
He crossed over the New York border, I'm guessing about 4 days ago. He is into day 93 now.
Wow.
He is in Fort Montgomery, New York. He's traveled 1,400 miles.
Wow.
It just seems like he traveled through Pennsylvania. I didn't realize Pennsylvania was that small.
Yeah. It seemed like Virginia took a while.
And I lived up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yes.
know.
The Virginias, West Virginia, and the state of Virginia, that'll definitely take you a good long time. But some of the pictures he's added to the website, they caught a bear in a trap.
Oh, no.
Yes, the Wildlife Service had set one of these elaborate traps. It doesn't hurt the bear or anything like that, but I imagine they probably put a whole chicken or something in there to attract the bear, and the bear goes inside the trap, and he gets caught. And most likely they wouldn't go ahead and relocate the bear somewhere where he's not going to be a nuisance.
Yeah.
But they had, let's see, they have some pictures there. Gary has some pictures on his website. And I love some of the other ones he took, the beautiful mountain pictures, the pictures of a farm. You can visit them by going to our homepage, happycamperradio.com. Right there at the top of the page, click on Gary's website, which is entitled, Where's the Next Shelter? And I believe, knowing the map of the United States like I do, not very far from here, his current location, he's actually going to be hopping aboard a car. I guess maybe somebody's picking him up.
Oh, really?
And he's going to travel all the way up to Maine and hike back.
Oh,
so he doesn't get caught. He doesn't get caught up into that part of the season where the trail is closed.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, he can sit back proudly and says, "Hey, I did hike the Appalachian Trail."
Yep. The whole thing.
I'm curious to ask him if he would ever do it again. I don't know too many people who have hiked it twice. In fact, I don't know anyone who's hiked it twice.
Yeah.
But Gary, from the way he is pumping this up, he is excited about this.
He could probably go on the Oregon Trail next time.
The Oregon Trail?
Yeah, have you ever heard that?
No.
That's like some trail that the settlers took when they went out west or something. And I think there's some trails out west, I'm sure, that are pretty long, but this one's the most notable one. But I think it's awesome. It is so cool.
It really is. And Gary, I promise you, I will be the first person to stand in line to get a signed copy of your book when this is all said and done.
Yep.
Because this has been a great adventure, and eventually it's going to come to an end for him. And I am really going to miss sitting here talking about all of his activities that he has taken in since leaving Georgia. How long ago?
That was back in May, I think.
Back in May.
Well, if we have any other listeners that want to take the challenge to hike the Appalachian Trail, we'd be happy to catch up with them. And if they wanted to call on the show like Gary did, I'm always down for following people on their journeys around the country and stuff, just living life. That's
yes, or
that's
even somebody who is living life on the road.
Yeah,
that's got to be an experience too. I would really love to talk to somebody who is actually enjoying their retirement years, or even if they're in their younger years, if they can afford to do so, to basically sell the house, move on, get a motorhome or a camper or whatever they have, and just live life on the road.
Yeah,
that's got to be an experience. That thought has always crossed my mind. We talked about that about a week or so ago, Daniel.
Yep, we did.
I don't think it'll ever happen for me, but if the opportunity ever does knock, I definitely will probably take that in.
There you go.
So, Gary, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, because he does carry his little smartphone with him and his earbuds. And I'm sure he has one of those devices that he can solar power and charge the phone.
Yeah.
But, he did indicate in one of his posts that he does listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And obviously the Happy Camper Radio Show is one of them.
Yeah.
So Gary is listening, and Gary, we wish the very best of luck, and let us know what's going on, and definitely give us a call here at the show again when you get the opportunity, because we always enjoy having you on the program. But anyway, Daniel, we've had a great show today. I know I did a lot of bragging and I did a lot of talking about
You did.
my short trip up to Blue Ridge. What did you think about that hamburger that I ate at that restaurant there?
Oh, man.
Wasn't that cool?
My mouth was watering on that.
Oh, my Lord. Hey, Daniel, I have not had a burger like that in a very long time. That was very homemade.
What was that on top? I couldn't tell what that on top was.
It was a slice of bacon
Oh,
and
wow.
blue cheese.
Oh, okay.
And I've never tasted bacon so good.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it was big and thick. I was
You're not going to get one of those burgers in the fast food joint.
Right.
They're
right.
a little pricey, but you will pay for quality food.
Right. Yep.
And I have no problem with that. And then plus on top of that, I've had good conversation with the employees at that establishment.
Okay.
So all the way around, it was just a great experience. And Daniel, that was my very first day in town.
Wow. Okay.
I ate.
I remember that. I think you sent me a message like, "Hey, look what I'm eating." I'm like, "Wow, He's throwing it in my face already."
Why not?
Oh boy.
You'll probably be the first one to go there after this show.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. We're deciding what we're going to do in October. We haven't really decided, but I don't know.
Well, if it's a short weekend away, hey, I'm right next door, and you can always come on over and say, hey, what's your plans this weekend? And if I don't have anything to do, I just might throw the tent in the back of the pickup truck and follow you up there.
Okay.
Okay? But hey, that's something we can work on. It's time now for our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. Okay, Daniel, here we go. We have not been to the state of Oklahoma in a very long time.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Well, I found a campground, Daniel, that really caught my eye, and I wouldn't mind camping out here myself. It is the Buncombe Creek Campground located in Oklahoma, and their season runs all the way through Tuesday, September 30th, 2014. This campground offers 54 campsites with electric and water hookups. Other amenities include flush and vault toilets, showers, drinking water, and paved access roads. They've got 2 boat ramps, a dock, and a dump station on site. Now, the Buncombe Creek Campground is located on the Texoma Lake. It's in Oklahoma, and like I say, one of the neat things about this place, they call it the striper capital of the world. Oh. If you're an angler, you want to bring your fishing gear along, you can check online to find out what information is available on, say, out-of-state fishing licenses, because I'm sure you're going to need one of those. But this is a lake that you definitely would want to do some good quality fishing on. They've got striped bass, largemouth and smallmouth bass, white bass, hybrid striped bass, white crappie, black crappie, channel fish, catfish, and blue catfish. I've never heard of that. Daniel, I haven't fished in a long time, but I know there are some people that are really, really hooked on it. So, if you're into camping and you're into fishing, this is definitely a campground that you may want to consider, and you put it on your bucket list. You just never know, if you're riding through Oklahoma, you might want to take in the Buncombe Creek Campground. It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And as always, if you have a campground that you would like Daniel and I to feature, you can start by emailing me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, or the guy in the pajama bottom sitting right next to me here,
Daniel at happycamperradio.com.
And as we say all the time, make sure you include a link to the campground website so that when we feature it here on the program, that we can share it with all of our other listeners when they visit our website. Daniel, I had a great time here on the show today.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you did too.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at a lot of great information, and I'm still sitting back and kind of absorbing all the things that I took in over my little 3-day trip. And folks, I want to remind you again, if you'd like to see all the photographs that I shot, including the video on the Blue Ridge Scenic Railway, very simply go to our homepage at www.happycamperradio.com. It's all right there for you to see. Well, Dan, we got another great show coming up next week, and
All
I
right.
know you'll be sitting right in the king chair, as you always are.
I am.
So, again, folks, don't forget, catch us online at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, and add us to your circles on Google+. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper.
Woo!
Haven't seen the dog. He's a happy camper, too. And you, my folks, my friends, can be one as well. Catch you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.